Hey you. So, welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and I've significantly neglected my emails. I am so sorry. I promise you, I've been reading the emails and I've gotten the stories. So, to make sure we stick with it and actually read the emails, we're gonna have our RPG horror story readings from the email submissions. Starting with the first one. My D&D horror story submission. Hello Morrow, I'm a recent viewer of your channel, and I must say I'm enjoying the content you have so far, and I'm hoping for you to grow even further. With that said, I'm hoping to toss my own horror story into the mix. Presenting, I'm a hunting drow, creative agency rewarded by a wannabe religious douche. Sorry if the title sounds crude, but trust me, the story explains everything. I'll try not to be before you long, but I wanted to share this story with you because one of two reasons. One, I knew the OP personally, we were friends in middle school, but we lost contact because of real life issues. And two, I need advice for in case this happens to me or other players. He's outcast, using character names for relevancy, and only mentioning the important characters. Lucien, the poor victim of the story. The player herself was shy and dealing with some real life problems, so she used games and writing as a way to escape from her problems. I've known her personally since we were in middle school, so you can consider us really close. Luxia, our problem player. He was a bit of a jerk even before the game. More on that later. Lucien and Luxia, that's gonna be really difficult for my brain. I'm gonna go with Lucy and Lux. Lucy, Lux, that's gonna be a little bit easier. DM, well, the DM. What a twist, I wouldn't have guessed. Sorry. 3 other players who are both don't remember the character names, but the class they played. And sorry, because they're not as relevant as the others, I'm not gonna add them. That sounds kind of like a diss towards the other players, but I'm pretty sure you mean well. Let's get back to it. That said, let's get to the story. For context, this happens in early week of January, and since I tend to write down most of the things I want to bring to light, everything starts to come full circle from time to time. Anyway, Lucy and I met on Discord server and started to reconnect after basically being away for what felt like decades. She told me about some harsh reality things she's been going through. Respectfully, I won't go into detail with it, and how she is coping. She told me she's going to play D&D with some people she met, and asked if I wanted to play. I unfortunately had to tell her no, but I'll gladly watch the game. And with that, this is where our story begins. I joined the campaign as a mute watcher, and Lucy introduces me to the DM and players. Couldn't really speak myself since I was on mobile, and speaking on my phone is absolutely bonkers. Session 0 goes as follows. Lux, so is she playing? Lucy, no, she just watching the game. Asked the DM if it was okay. It's fine as long as she doesn't speak during the game. Also, if I have any questions, I want to PM the conversation to avoid getting distracted. Now I asked for you all to come up with 2 different character concepts. Do we have them already? The concepts were in case the character dies or is retired. And judging from how our characters are named, you know who we're starting as. Lux's characters. Lux, female variant human battle master fighter. He was a soldier of private military campaign that devoted themselves to the goddess of war. Her mission is to complete her patron's wish to find a powerful spellcaster that carries a powerful sacred text that was taken from the church. Alignment chaotic good. Kaga, a female orc berserker barbarian. Her rage is the cause of the addiction to green liquid she keeps in a heavy supply. Her story is to find her father and challenge him for the throne of her tribe. Alignment neutral. Lucy's characters. Lucy, a male half-elf drow bardlock, eloquence bard and fey warlock, with the features of winged tiefling who smells of coal, has peach skin, dark raven wings that can spur out a will. His wings only last for 1 minute, but it's said that had his devil parent married one of his own kind, the wings would be permanent. Despite this flaw, Lucien can use his flight to act as a scout or scurry away from danger. His mission is to find a human woman who he fell in love with, but with very little clues, he sought an adventuring party to help him. Alignment chaotic neutral. Parkus, a male half-elf paladin of glory. He was a member of paladin outfit devoted to the goddess of good health and practiced their rituals by healing and protecting the innocent and poor. His mission is to find the mystery behind a letter that was left behind by a female tourist with strange similarities to his late sister. Alignment lawful good. Wait, you can't do that. Do what? DM said we can't multi-class. You can only pick one. Okay. I'll go with the bard. I want him to be suave and deceptive, but also want to be our DPS. Can I take a feat for warlock? I'll allow it. 15 minutes after revising her character, me and DM were going over the available subclasses for bard with her. Okay, I'll have the Eldritch Blast and Mind Sliver as my cantrips, and Arms of Hadar as my spell. What do you alignment? I'm chaotic neutral. Your character sounds evil. DM wants our characters to be, I'm guessing, good, potentially? She's free to be anyone she wants, as long as she doesn't intentionally do anything to kill or hurt the party. If I think she's a problem, then she can just as easily revision her character or create a new one. I actually have him be deceptive and charismatic. I inspired him off Trellis, Amulet book series, and some of the other characters alike. I don't care. I don't want to ally with anyone who is evil. I demand you to change characters or you'll regret it. I'm gonna make you change characters or you'll regret it. Wow. That sounds like the least threatening thing I've ever heard in a TTRPG. The least threatening thing. And we read some pretty crazy stories overall, but my goodness. But what are you gonna do, Lux? Are you gonna just, start PKing, go evil mode and stuff? DM doesn't want you to do that, so you kind of shit out of luck, buddy. Well, we'll see what happens. Lux seems a little bit too amped up for no apparent reason, to be honest. Unfortunately, this threat was meant to be taken seriously. You can take it seriously. To me, it sounds silly. You better change character or you'll regret it. What are you gonna do? Make me pull out my "it's what my character would do" card, huh? Sorry, I'm being a little too melodramatic. Let's get back to the story. Coming into session 1, we're starting to introduce everyone, and Lucian's introduction to the party goes as far as this. You all meet in a chamber room. It's a place where adventurers would submit their quest through a bulletin board. Sign your name, and you're given your word that you will help this adventurer in need until death do you part. After signing your name, you'll get this chance to introduce yourselves to your party mates. How will you do it? I'm Lucian, son of Trebescus and Armata Durillo. I'm in need of adventurers who will help me in finding someone. You reek of coal, elf, and your name speaks like the devil. I refuse to help you. But you signed your name, and the rule was death to the wicked. I refuse to aid this Virgil in finding his Dante. Wait, what? Are we supposed to take the Virgil and Dante comment seriously? This guy sounds like a caricature. Because of your loud behavior, Kaga, you're told to keep your voice down or you'll be thrown out. No, this devil should be the one dehumanized. He was just trying to hex me. Is that true, elf? No, certainly not. I'm only asking for help, but this woman is being unreasonable. He is lying. He should be the one thrown out, not me. I'm sorry, but I have to ask the both of you and your party to leave. You're causing a scene, and I won't be responsible for any deaths or injuries you cause to each other. Certainly, sir. I still say you thrown away the wrong man. No matter. I should have known you commoners were all the same. Skipping ahead to nearing the end of session 1, the party is camping for the night after their encounter with a bandit campaign. I sneak into Lucian's tent and try to slit his throat. Lucian isn't in his tent. Oh my god. Oh my god. DM, you're not gonna stop that? That's a pretty evil thing to do. You know, that's pretty evil. You don't want people to be evil and stuff, I think. Lucian isn't in his tent. He's in a high top tree. And I'm not allowing PvP, so no, you're not allowed to do that. But he's asleep. He won't even notice. I'm not asleep. I'm on night watch. Then I want to grab my bow and shoot you. And I say, off with the devil. No, you're not. We can't allow this bastard to hex us any longer. May you burn in the hells of which he was conceived. Rolling die. 19. Lucian, you hear fighters screaming at the top of their lungs about you. Trying our best not to break down. I narrowly avoid the arrow and consciously use my wings to land safely from the high tree. Players, do you hear this? Yep. Some decide to climb out to see what's going on or stay inside their tents. Lucia, what are you doing? Being rid of this devil. He's from the Underdark, and he brings us down with him if we allow him to live. Lucia never said he was from the Underdark. He said he's from insert homebrew village here. Point still stands. He is a menace to society, and he will kill us if we allow him even another second to breathe. Just look at his devilish wings, his reek stench of death, his clothes. He is a menace that shouldn't be given the chance to share the same company as us. Okay, hold on one second. Listen, we may smell like coal sometimes, okay? Okay, all the time. But have you seen where I live? Have you seen this environment? It's all volcanoes, buddy. That's all it is. It's all volcanoes. Oh, no wonder I complain about being too hot. I live next to a volcano. Holy shit. This is honestly ridiculous. My throat is hurting just trying to voice this, but I'm having so much fun. So I'm gonna keep going until my throat completely dies. Let's keep going with this. Do you mind if I speak my innocence, Lucia? You have 2 minutes, sPaWn. I have wings, yes, but I can't use them for long because of my human parent. Had my father married one of his kind, those wings would be permanent. And I assure you that you have my word, I have no intention of killing or harming any of you.
You're lying! You bastard devils are made to be a menace to humanity. That's your only purpose. You smell of dead, elf. And you admit you have a devil as a parent. That means you're evil, and I refuse to be a friend of a devilish man.
I've never seen somebody dislike tiefling attributes or anything like that for so much and just go into the whole like devil spawn commentary. Man, like I get it, like get something new for once. Get a brand new insult at least. I'm sorry I vexed you so much, Luxia, but I want this to be made clear. I need you to help me find someone. You sign your name, and unfortunately you can't take back what you already done. But I swear, once my mission is done, you will never see me again.
I wish only I wouldn't see you now.
Sorry, Lucian. Just try to bugger her out. Certainly. The next day we're planning on staying in town, but no one knows any particular direction to me, nor did anyone think of bringing a map or a carriage. And so reasonably so, a player brings something to light that happened last night. Hey, Lucian, you said you had wings, right? Maybe you can scout for us? Of course. Gonna fly up and see what's up ahead. You see what looks like.
As soon as Lucian's in the air, I grab my bow and shoot him.
Oh God, not again.
I told you I wouldn't partner with this beast any longer.
Roll die.
19!
I'm not allowing PvP.
I fired my bow! Damn it, 17!
Luxia, I made a rule, no PvP. So no, you don't shoot Lucian, but you do shoot a bird that was about to take flight. Shot a bird? Oh, bastard. What'd the bird do to you? What in the hell's he doing?
Killing this devil! 18!
What is this fixation? What is this fixation on just like going strong and the stupidity? It's just stupid. It's dumb. Lucian, shut up. Please. You're holding up the rest of the game. People want to play, and you're focusing on this stupid tangent. I hope the DM fucking kicks him. Even as he gets kicked, you can hear Luxia scream over and over all these random numbers he gets off his dice roll. But hey, he gets a nat 20. 6 tries later. Jokes aside, the DM immediately kicks Luxia, but the hurt is already done. Behind her screen, Lucian is upset and she tries to wiggle her way out. When I go to see how she's doing, she tells me Luxia has sent her messages after messages. Some religious, some not exactly religious, and even threatening her with killing herself. Keep in mind she's already dealing with stuff and this guy's just rubbing more salt in the wounds. That's not rubbing salt in the wounds, that's taking a dump on somebody's chest for no reason.
Oh, you decide to play a devil spawn. Die, devil spawn. Damn, I roll a 22. Psh.
What an idiot. As pissed off as I was, I told her to block him and promised to bring this up to the DM. With this brought up to light, it doesn't take long for us to get our happy ever after, as he's been reported and blocked from all the DM's games. As for Lucian, she and I are reconnecting at long last, and I'm happy to say she's doing a bit better than how she started out. She even got through her character's mission before deciding she's retiring her character, and maybe the hobby entirely so she can deal with life. At the moment, she's watching Critical Role thanks to me introducing her to this series, and Vox Machina. But if she's not nerding out, she's writing fanfiction or doing whatever catches her fancy to cope with whatever gets her down. And that's the end of our story. Thanks for reading and have a safe 2023. Thank you, Sakura-kan, for this story. I really appreciate it. Sorry it took me so long to actually get to read it, but I'm glad the story had a nice little ending. I think I might have seen the story before on a couple other channels, like maybe some forever ago and stuff, but, you know, honestly, it's a kind of nice refresher to be able to go back to some of these other OG stories and be able to offer my own stupid advice and wisdom. Basically, I hope that Lucian is able to get back into the hobby at some point and maybe is having fun time, and maybe you, Sakura, and Lucian are enjoying yourselves and maybe playing some D&D at some point, because I mean, yeah, one bad experience sucks, sure, but in general, I think I appreciate how the DM handled the situation, even though Luxia was a little bit, Lux was a bit over dramatic and stuff. I mean, made for a fun story for sure, you know. At least it's a fond memory of like, look at this idiot, look what he's doing. And we can all laugh at
the ridiculous voice acting that I provide. I strike you, devil spawn.
It's just stupid. My throat's gonna hurt from this, but I had so much fun reading this. Overall, don't be Lux, don't be a prick, be pretty friendly. That's all I can say. Otherwise, everybody else did pretty good in the story. The DM probably could have kicked him earlier because of all the red flags, but I'm glad they kicked when it became a massive problem and things just wouldn't stop. RPG horror story. My wizard exploding caused our ranger to explode at the DM. Hey Morrow, enjoying the videos? Figure I'd send a rewrite of my only RPG horror experience. Spoilers for Rime of the Frost Maiden Chapter 2. I played in a 5e game of Rime of the Frost Maiden among very good friends over Discord and Roll20. Our group was 6 party members strong and a lovable band of misfits. We had been traveling across Icewind Dale from town to town in this frozen wasteland, solving mysteries and stopping problems, as well as making a few of our own. We all had a good dynamic going, and it was generally positive in spite of the tundra being cold and unforgiving. After moving on to yet another city, after our successful hijinks, we become well known enough for someone to actually seek out our help. Of course, being various flavors of good and neutral, we're excited to do some good and receive even more rewards. And known by the name of Copper Knobberknocker, I hope I pronounced it right, which had a name as hilarious as his mannerisms, wanted to hire us to help seek out a friend of his who lived in a secluded area outside of town. He'd been working on a device that would end the Frost Maiden's eternal winter storm and finally prove light to the Dale, something that has been lost for many years now. This was big news to our party and a sign that we were moving into the bigger parts of the campaign. We took up the job to deliver provisions and check in on him immediately. The trip was simple, and much to our shock, his cabin looked like it was in disrepair. It was absolutely ruined, and it was honestly a death trap to even make our way inside the collapsing staircase and infrastructure of the cabin. As we made our way inside, we each took to investigate different corners of the room. Me and the Goblin Rogue had decided to investigate the table surrounded by scorch marks with a suspiciously clean-looking object atop it. I hadn't realized it, but the Rogue had gone AFK while I asked the DM questions and fiddled with the object. My character was very curious about this definitely magical object that continued to radiate light and became more erratic the more I fiddled with it. However, my character wasn't very insightful enough to consider that it was what caused the explosion, and after several interactions with it, the relic exploded and instantly vaporized both me and the Rogue after a failed roll. This did not bother me or the Rogue when they came back, as we both trusted the DM had something in store for us, and it wouldn't instantly kill our characters for simply interacting with the world. This, however, didn't sit well with the Ranger. They immediately stopped the roleplay to accusingly yell at the DM, "Are you really doing this? Doing this to someone who wasn't even there?" The DM did not immediately respond because we never had the Ranger act like this before. It wasn't in her nature to be confrontational and aggressive. Before anyone could speak up, the Ranger disconnected from Discord and it was impossible to contact otherwise. We waited and tried for a full half hour before we resumed the game. The Rogue and I had a chance to speak to the spirit of the person who created the relic and died before getting to stabilize it, and we sort of helped guide our party through to completion of it as ghosts. Admittedly, it was a bit difficult, with the only person who didn't have intelligence dumped was a smoking crater, but still. With the relic properly finished, we managed to bring sunlight to the Dale again. It had been ages since anyone had seen it, and though it was very brief before the machine gave out, it had given everyone hope again. We were contacted and blessed by the god of morning light, and the two of us who had been turned into ash were reborn anew. Unfortunately, all of this cool roleplay was sort of soured by a friend turning our backs on us and walking out before the DM had a chance to explain themselves. The story is almost over, but I do want to give commendation to DM for including the players that died into the story, even though they're actually technically dead, and finding ways to incorporate them to still be able to participate in stuff, even though the characters, well, were a crater, basically. A giant, they went kaboom, basically. We later talked to the Ranger. They were only going through some issues that day, and it bled into the game. Apparently, they were just seeing red when that happened and couldn't stop themselves, so they needed to just leave. We left it all at that, though the DM had confided with me that he was very nervous for next session because he planned a PC death. PC wasn't very happy with his monk and wanted to swap to Warlock, so the DM wanted to have the Maiden show up and personally mess with us for our success. Thankfully, it went a lot better than that session. Thank you, Robin, for submitting the story. I really do appreciate it. And honestly, once again, kudos to the DM for how they handled it. For real. I mean, yeah, it sucks that, Ranger had a bit of like a reaction to this whole thing, and it was a bit of a angry kind of a reaction. I mean, obviously, if you don't know what's going on, you probably, having a bad day. You don't intend to lash out, but you just do. But honestly, it's kind of refreshing hearing stories about DMs doing something right for once, because a lot of the times we had stories about DMs being creeps, DMs being weirdos, DMs being going kind of all over the place and stuff. Not just the problem players. In TTRPG stories and stuff, and RPG horror stories, the DMs can be a problem, the players can be a problem, everybody can be a problem, or nobody's a problem. There's not really much of a problem here either. It's more like a story about, hey, we exploded, but we are back. But Ranger was kind of pissed. I understand that it's difficult to constantly prevent IRL stuff from like coming into your life and not to have it splash out and just kind of bleed out into everything else. I completely understand. If you need a break, you need a break. That's completely fine. If you need to just relax for a bit or you need a little bit of time away, it's always good to let your group know or whoever that, yeah, you kind of need time away, but you'll be back at some point. Maybe, eventually, I don't know. Take time for yourselves, y'all. Take time for yourself just to kind of relax and come back to a higher spirit later on. And with that, that's going to be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.